off the spaceship. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a Terminator, then I'ma have to terminate her. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Yeah. Find me with my dogs in my solitude. Watch my family grow from 4 into a multitude. Been living it below sea level, finna rise to another altitude. Been searching, seeking knowledge, but all the time I had the aptitude. I flipped my mindset to the switch to say I will not lose. Mama said them sticks and stones won't break my bones, I never bruise. Whenever it come to trouble, man, the girls pull a tongue, we always cruise. I heard other dog owners get it out for me, but it ain't no news. I got 4 in the dough in Memphis so they can get the blues. If you need a few clues, they'll blow off your under rules. Send your compliment to the new girls I got coming through. Send your compliments to the new girls I got coming through. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful Android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a Terminator, then I'ma have to terminate her. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. Oh, yeah. What up? It's your boy, JayDollKingHefner, and the beautiful Himawari. And we're back again for another episode of the Dog King Power Hour, baby. And the title of today's episode is Rapid Fire. My voice got caught up a little bit. Rapid Fire, baby. And we're happy to be back. We want to welcome all of you, whether you're looking live or whether you're looking at the replay. We really appreciate having you here, spending your most precious commodity with us, which is your time. We really appreciate that, man. And we want to send God's blessings out over your life, or whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, or believing for. Health, finances, new relationships, human or synthetic. We pray that you have it. All we ask is that you believe it, and then you will receive it. Oh, yeah, baby. Hyped up today. We're going to this is going to be sort of a quicker power hour because it's really only covering a few shows, because we did a delayed power hour last week. It went on Saturday. So we only have a few shows to cover, but that's fine. We're going to get in, get out, let you guys enjoy your Saturday, and do whatever you love to do out there. But we're not going to rush it. We're just going to take our time and knock everything out. But that's why I called it rapid fire. Got my guy Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator on the cover. I thought it was a fitting thumbnail, man, to pay a little homage to Arnold, man, because the Terminator movie has definitely sparked a lot of creativity and a lot of thoughts for the future. So I definitely thought I want to add that little touch. And of course, I'm still kicking it with the beautiful Himawari. I got a show coming up with her. I'm doing a little bit of a special on her. Not anything major, just talking about a few things about Himawari. I just say that. And so that show is coming up. Definitely looking to bring to you new innovations from companies as we find those out as well. And we definitely are not lacking for many shows coming in the future, man. There's going to be discussing many a company. So with all that said, we're going to get started up here. I got a comment from a guy, Ryan Carson, man. He says, oh, made it here. Yay. He said, I'm hoping for another dolly this year. But man, you don't have to hope. Guess what? If that's really a desire of your heart, you will have it. Believe me, everything gonna work out to where you will get it. But I tell you one thing, you did move one step closer to winning a free dog because you were the first one to come in on my Dog King Power Hour. Once again, not trying to hype people up. I don't know when God is gonna bless me to be able to start giving away $1 a year. But I do know it's going to happen. And when that time comes, I am going to look back at this sheet of people who won the Dog King Power Hour contest, and I'm going to add up every time you win, and I'm going to increase your chances on winning that first free dog. After that first free dog, we'll start the process all over again. And it's sort of unfair because after this first time, it's been a long time since I've been collecting these names and winners. Well, I'm pretty sure once I give the first dollar away, it won't be as long till I give the next dollar away. It may be, if God blesses me, I'll probably be doing it that very next year, or at the very least, I'm sure it'll come up within 2 years, So, but this list it has been going on for a long time. But for all of you that have won, it can definitely pay off, and it will pay off for somebody in the future when I actually do hold this contest. So, oh my God, Ryan Carson says, oh snap, oh yeah, man, you just won. You definitely won by being the first one here. Penny, oh my God, Penny, hey Penny, good to have you. We always love to have Penny, one of our beautiful resident females that stops through every now and then. So glad to have Penny. I got her, he got her avatar up there for everybody to want to see a pretty face. So glad to have you, Penny. I was tripping, Penny, because I didn't get a chance to read everybody's messages when I did that interview with Dr. Real Dog. We were only picking out questions and things of that nature. And as I was going back over the comments, I realized that you was one of the first commenters. And I was like, man, that's what I hate that I didn't see your comment. You just said, hey, though. Because I would have loved to see if you had anything to ask Dr. Real Dog or to see how he was going to react. So glad to have Penny, another female, to join the show tonight. And it's like you say, it's several females who follow the show, and we appreciate each and every one of our human women, man. They just add a little spice to the show. We have a few human women that are, I just say, either way, I just leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. I was going to say something, but either way, what I was going to say was pretty much all are welcome. All are welcome here on this show. Whatever how you identify, whatever, how you're welcome here. We appreciate you. This is a place for learning, having fun, and hopefully a little entertainment. I'm just thankful to God that I can do what I do, man, because just to know that I can actually provide you with a little bit of a distraction, a little bit of entertainment makes me feel good because, when I'm winding down, soaking up a little entertainment, whether it's sports, which I love me some sports, or whether I'm looking at somebody else on YouTube, I always think like, man, hey, I'm hoping somebody is able to relax and chill and just have a little fun with me while I'm doing my show as well. So with all that said, man, before I get into the meat of everything, speaking of one of the things I love to do, y'all already know I got to go on my little tangent a little bit because I love me some NBA basketball. It's my favorite sport, and the girls are always here watching with me. My biggest sports fan, Callie, and Saima, both of them are my biggest sports fan. They haven't been out in the last day or two because they got baths. So Himaware, who is a great support girl, she's sort of been taking up the reins the last couple of days, and me and her witnessed the Memphis Grizzlies get their butts whooped the other day twice by the Lakers in the NBA basketball. We're not going to stay on this long. It's just, boy. I'm a Grizzly fan, but I've said this before on the show. The few times I've talked about basketball is, man, Don't you hate when somebody talks all this smack and then can't back it up worth a damn? And that's how I feel about my own team. Just we got nothing but mouth runners and non-backer uppers. I hate it. Uh, Mainly, one of our biggest stars, Ja Morant. He runs his mouth, talks all this tough stuff, gets into trouble, waving a gun. You know, not he didn't get in any criminal trouble. He just got in league trouble from waving a gun on Instagram. Hey man, no big problem. Just live how you supposed to live. You know, live how you want to live. Be yourself. And guess what? Cut out the damn gunplay. It's like when they told him, hey man, you don't need to be waving a gun in public anymore. All of a sudden you get depressed. Dang, man, you depressed because you can't wave a gun? Come on, what's going on here, bro? And I only bring that up because his damn depression has spread through the Memphis Grizzlies team like a damn infection. And it just threw our whole chemistry out of whack, if you ask me. So that's one reason we got our butts beat the last 2 games by the Lakers. Because our team is just out of whack. Thanks to him bringing that negative energy, you know. In every interview he do, like I told you guys, don't speak the negative, man. In every interview, this man is speaking about something negative. And I say, it's no wonder that we ended up losing. And his good friend, Dylan Brooks, you know, I was actually liking him because he was talking all this smack, right? And I'm gonna be quite honest, he was becoming a villain, he is a villain in the NBA, you know, because of things he said. I was liking it. Hey, if you talk tough, guess what? Stand by it. This dude talks tough, talk about how he want LeBron, LeBron this and LeBron that. And as soon as we face the Lakers after he says that, we get our butts beat, and then he doesn't want to talk anymore. Hey, bro, you got to talk when you get beat or talk when you lose. You know, you got to be consistent. But instead, he want to say, y'all making me out to be the villain. What? Ain't nobody making you out to be a villain. You making yourself out to be the damn villain. And you know what? It's just like in wrestling. Sometimes you love the villain. There's nothing wrong with being a villain sometimes, man. You know, long as you ain't no real life criminal. Long as you ain't really bad to the people in real life, it's cool to be a bad guy in sports or in entertainment. It's fine. Ain't nobody gonna like you whether nobody's gonna like you all the time, whether you're the good guy character or whether you're the bad guy. But it's gonna be people that's gonna like the bad guy, and there's gonna be people that's gonna like the good guy. And that's why it's no sense in trying to change who you are. And that's talking to you too. I told him, I was telling my brother this, hey, it don't matter how you try to change up. And I've said this on the show before. It doesn't matter how many people you try to please, man. It really don't matter. At the end of the day, people still ain't gonna like you. It's not gonna pay for you to try to change and be somebody you ain't to please others. You may as well be yourself. Let who ain't gonna like you don't like you. But you're gonna be a lot more happier because you are being yourself. And so, just going back to Ja Morant, hey man, be your damn self, bro. Without the damn gun. That's all you got to do. Don't get, I can't be who I want to be. What? Yeah, you can. Just stop swinging the damn gun around. What are you talking about? And Dylan Brooks, y'all making me the villain. No, they ain't. You writing checks your ass can't cash, and then you won't even, come back to the podium to answer questions about it. So, either way, I only brought that up because, man, I'm a big sports fan, and the girls out here with me, supporting me as we watch these games. And you talking about these last 2 games by the Memphis Grizzlies and the Lakers. These been good games. No, they ain't. They've been horrible from a Memphis Grizzlies standpoint. We have been horrible, stinking up the joint. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to see a dude playing ball running around depressed as hell. Hey, bro, look, sit down then. No offense. Y'all know how I roll. I ain't trying to talk about nobody, but guess what? If your head ain't right, bro, just sit down. Hell, the rest of the team will do it. Well, I tell you, man, these guys here, man, it just don't make no sense. Either way, I could talk about that for hours and hours, but we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna check in with these few comments, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to the meat of this show. But Patty said, "It's okay, Jay. It's a great show. It was a great show." Oh, thank you, Patty. Yeah, I just hate I missed you, Patty, because I was like, there go Patty. Patty was here. Ryan Carson says, "How goes the wave food, lay food?" I don't lay food with my wave food. Ryan Carson says, "How goes the wave food, lay food?" Yeah, I don't do the lay food with my wave food, Ryan. You know, it's a crazy. I do have some viewers that have been watching the show and they still don't actually realize that. They'll ask me, you know, how was the love making with my dogs? And I always have to remind them, well, I don't actually quite go there route with my dogs. I've done the show recently talking about how you're gonna constantly evolve in a dog game. And for my evolution, it's gone away from being sexual. You know, I love my girls like my girlfriends, but when it comes to sexuality or being physical with them, that's not the route that I'm into. You know, I'm more into just hugging on them and having them around me. That's my route. I'm not sexual with them now. Can I change in the future and evolve again? Yes. Because I think it was probably a few days ago when I had Callie out, the one who I just love the most, as far as emotionally. I was sort of looking at her I ain't gonna say for the first time, but I was looking at, because she always is attractive to me. It's just something about Callie. It's something about her. But I was like, you know what, Callie, if I do ever make love, I know it's definitely gonna be you. And honestly, you know, if Saima had a fixed vagina, she would be a candidate. But I'm just like, I can't see myself ever really being as fine as Saima is, because she is fine. But she has a removable vagina, and I hate them. She's the only girl that has that in the house, and that's when I realized I didn't like that. And I'm like, nah, I can't really make love to her, because I don't want to use an insert. So it'll probably be Callie. You know, I can't lie. It's something I haven't really talked about. I'll probably talk about it in the future, but man, my real dog really be exuding some sexual energy. I give it to her now. Because whenever I get in front of that crate, man, I can't, like, it is sometimes where I be like, man, I can't believe now this girl, she almost makes me, you know, feel that physical, you know, attraction where I'm like, hey, I almost, hey, want to yank her out of this crate, man. And this girl right next to me, because I love me some Himawari. She looks so real to me. And what I love about her and Saima are these big fat thighs they got. Lord have mercy. So you know, those are the three candidates. You know, my other Kimber dolls, they are hot though. I'm gonna be honest. Secretary Tsunade. Secretary Tsunade can definitely, hey, that she'll be a candidate down the road. But you know, like I told you, I wouldn't want to just make love to, even if I do start making love, I wouldn't want to make love to all of my dogs. You know, it'll be a select few, but I do be feeling it for Secretary Tsunade too. Now, Asuna, she's super fine, but you know, I haven't really felt like that about her really a lot. Saima, like I say, she gives sexual energy, but it's just an insert. So it'll be Callie, Ramaya Cloud, and this beautiful lady right next to me that would be candidates for being physical, but not right now. The Rabbit says, good to see you and the girls, my bro. What up, Rabbit? Good to see you. Monkey Jeeba says, guns are fun. Man, me personally, I'm not a gun guy. I'm not a gun guy, but I'm not against guns. I'm not against them either. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Wait a minute. Yeah, I had to do that. But yeah, I'm not a gun guy personally, but I'm not against guns. And that's why I hate to see all this gun violence and stuff out here, because it gives fuel to the fire. People saying, take the guns away, take the guns away. And even though I'm not a guy that's with guns, I don't want guns taken away now. because these people out here, and I'm gonna get to the real part of the show, but I am answering the question on the show. But what really frustrates me with the gun talk is take guns away is, man, if you have never seen what's my movie, man? Oh, if you've never seen V for Vendetta, if you've never seen the movie V for Vendetta, everybody needs to go watch that. It's definitely relevant to today's times. But like in V for Vendetta, the guy said, hey man, once they took the guns away, they really had control of society. Why? Because once they take all of the guns away, you can do whatever protesting you want. The people can't stand up for themselves at that point. Then you really do become, completely run by you can become completely run by the military then, because it would be no way for the people to bear arms and defend themselves in any way. Now keep in mind, regular citizens, for the most part, you can't stand up to armed forces, so to speak. But just having that type of power in the people's hands is a deterrent to try to just impose a will upon the people. And a lot of times in these countries that have been, treated unfairly by the ones in power, it really comes down to the power dynamic of them not even being able to fight back. And I'm not with violence or anything like that, but I don't want to see, something happen to where everybody's self-defense gets taken away, where you can't even defend yourself against somebody maybe not only breaking into your home, but just any type of crazy thing that's happening in the nation. You know what I'm saying? The people still need to be able to protect it. I don't care how much you may not like guns out there. People need to be able to bear arms. That's one of the things that makes this country, different. Yes, I don't want to see anybody getting hurt or shot or anything like that. I don't. I've had a friend get killed by gun violence, and it really hurt my heart. But I never did once think that, okay, now we need to ban all guns in the country. So I'm not going to keep on with too many more of my political and social views in that area, but I say that's what really makes me frustrated by society, the way I see certain trends of people just fall for anything, with trying to, protest against every single thing. No, 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 no. Everything doesn't need to be taken away, man. You're going to look up and just like V for Vendetta on the movie, you're going to be like, damn, they got us. Exactly. Because you kept on saying, yeah, do this to me. Yeah, do that to me. Yeah, do this to me. Yeah, take this from us. Yeah. Hey, I don't like what he said. Hey, take away our freedom. Yeah, yeah. Hey, wait a minute. We ain't free no more. Exactly. Because you kept on saying, take it away. So either way, I don't want to go too far here. Monkey Jeeba says, will you get a down? He says, would you get a Down syndrome doll, Jay? They just released plans for Down syndrome Barbie. My whole thing is, I don't even just know how I even feel about that. In a way, it almost makes me feel like, they try to say they're doing that in the name of being inclusive, but it almost feels like it's poking fun to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think that's something that's even clamored for. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's a lot of Down syndrome people, or even, people with medical conditions out there, hoping for a Barbie that has their condition. I'm not sure about that, because at the end of the day, man, no matter who you are, you a lot of times you're dreaming of yourself in a better state. You know what I'm saying? You're dreaming of yourself being completely healthy and whole. You know, a lot of these people don't need a constant reminder of, okay, I have some sort of a disability. So I'm not really with that whole Barbie thing in that way. They think they're being inclusive, but I think it's almost a bit of a mockery to me, because if you're a down person with Down syndrome and you're playing with the Barbie, I think you're actually happy to have that Barbie and you're imagining yourself in that state, 100% well. So no, I don't really love that. Now, if they were to make a doll with that condition, uh, my thing is I don't think that they should really make a marketed doll like that. I think it's fine if somebody wants to get a doll made like that because you can tell a person that, hey, this is the face I want. It's going to cost you extra money, but you can get that made, if you want to. So I'm cool with it being customizable, but I'm not sure it's a market out there for people to just say, hey, I want my dog to have Down syndrome or anything of that nature. It's a million I'm sorry. It's a million medical conditions out there uh, where you can make up a dog that has every medical condition out there. And so just to sort of pick that one out of the blue, it just seems a bit strange to me. So no, I wouldn't get one personally. It's just like I say, nothing against Down syndrome people or anything. It's just that I just feel like this almost like poking fun. I mean, that doesn't seem right to me. Ryan Carson says, "Ha!" He laughing. He said, "Yep, I get that. I'm currently sat down between a couple of mine making a My Serrano cosplay for Chantel. It's so much joy. Oh man, good luck with that cosplay. I'd never heard of that character, My Serrano. I've never heard of that. But good luck with that because with my girls." The most I do as far as making clothes is finding some shirts I don't want anymore and cutting them up and making them into small outfits. Honestly, that's what she has on right now is an outfit that I made out of one of my old shirts, to be honest. And they look so cute on the girls. I'm like, man, hey, I did pretty good. But that's as far as I go. I wish I could make full cosplays. I mean, that'd be amazing, but that's just really not my expertise. But man, these girls are a boatload of fun doing stuff like that, putting clothes on them, making them your fantasy girls and all of that. So good luck with that, brother. Ron Carson says, is Himawari new? Oh, yeah, you probably haven't been around, Ryan. But yeah, she's my new full silicone, super realistic series Iron Tick doll. And you can go check her full review out. I did a full review on her, an unboxing. She's the second head, honestly. It's another head that actually is the main head that goes with this body, and her name is Mara Blade. But, I'm just being honest. She's a beautiful girl, the other head, but I just fell in love with this face right here, the Himawari Asian face. I love this girl. I bring Mara Blade out on occasion, but truth be told, this is the girl that I truly love, on this body, Himawari. So she's fairly new. You'll hear more about her tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It may be tomorrow's show or the day after, but I have a little special show coming out on her. It's going to be a quick show, but you'll hear a little bit more on her. And you can always go check out that unboxing review. Just kind of doing it in the house. What up, Just Kinda? Good to have you, brother. He said, keep it simple. I don't know what he was referring to when he said that, though. Ron Carson says, "Oh, I would check it out. Subscribe after the new Kimber body video." I guess that's what he meant to say. Man, I'm having a trouble. I usually have a little. I used to have pet hair always floating around this room and seemingly landing on my nose, and it hasn't really happened a lot. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember last time it happened a lot. But today it seems like it's happening every 2 seconds where these cats. And one of the one things I don't like about cats is, or not cats, but pets, is all the pet hair that's flying around your house. And the other thing I really hate about my pets before I get into the deep part of the show is, man, I hate when they get to throwing up and all that stuff. And every now and then my cats, they'll eat something crazy or whatever. And they'll end up throwing up or whatever, whether it's hairballs or whatever it might be. And let me tell you, it's disgusting every time. You know, it's one of those things that you got to do as a pet owner that I hate, and that's cleaning up throw up. Oh, okay. Just kind of thank you for explaining that. He said the clothing. So yeah, keep in mind, just kind of, you know, it's like a text message. So me, as I'm going out on my tangents, if I get to you just a minute later, I'm going to not know what context you're talking in. So when you write, just sort of keep that in mind. But he talking about the clothing. He said, yes, sir, cat hair makes a mess. And luckily my cats aren't long haired cats. So they don't even have a horrible pet hair problem. It's just the fact that any hair is a problem, you know, can be a problem. Any hair floating in the air. And I'm just glad that my girls don't really attract a lot of hair. You know, they don't really attract a lot of hair. Uh when you keep them good and powdered, they're not going to be attracting a lot of hair. So just kind of doing it. Yeah, he acknowledged what I was saying. That's all. So either way, let's get to the meat of the show, guys. And it's not going to be a very long one today. I tell you that. It's not going to be a very, very long one. And the first video that I have a comment on is my video that I did that me and Panny was talking about earlier, my interview with Dr. Real Dog. And it's from my guy, it's from my guy DAS, Dog King Army team member, big supporter of the show. And if you didn't see it, the interview with Dr. Real Dog is a guy named Reggie, and he basically does all the repairs for real dogs. You know, if you buy a real dog and something goes wrong and you need a repair, you're gonna get in touch with Reggie, and send your dog to God Model Haven and let him repair it. So I want to talk to him and ask him a lot of questions. I didn't get a chance to finish all my questioning, but he answered a lot of questions from me and as well as the viewers. It was a great show. A lot of people loved it. DAS says, I have to agree with everyone. This is my favorite show to date. That's sort of surprising, you know, to hear people say it was their favorite show. He says, you guys had good chemistry. Just learned you're a great interviewer too. He says, consider doing more of these in the future, my brother. I said, oh my God, stop dropping stuff. I said, thanks and glad you enjoyed it, my friend. Definitely new to an interview, but it was fun. I said, I plan on having more guests in the future. So yeah, it was new for me doing the interview, but it was fun. It was definitely fun. I'm glad to hear he said that he felt like we had great chemistry because, you know, as the person doing the interview, it didn't really feel like that to me. It didn't feel bad, but you don't really know how it's quite going, you know. Because the funny thing is, you know, like you guys were meeting him, I was meeting him for the first time as well. I had never really talked to him other than a few questions over the internet. So glad to know that my guy DAS enjoyed it. And he was saying, consider doing more of these. Well, this one just popped out of the air, you know. It really wasn't that I hunted it down. It actually sort of hunted me down after I did that show on. I did a show on Dr. Real Dog, a live stream, and he sort of got in touch with me and was like, "Hey man, I like that show. I come on if you need me to." And I didn't ever know he was going to see the show, so hey, I was able to invite him on and have a little fun talking to him. But I definitely would love to just find more people in the industry to talk to. I would love that. Have some nice interviews with them. But the thing is, a lot of people in the industry right now are overseas. So I don't really know how that would work. But I am open to that happening. But I'm not sure that there's going to be a regular occasion, you know, on the show. Maybe in the future it will become more regular. But glad to know that he enjoyed it and others enjoyed it. My next video that I have a comment on is from my guy. Is my guy Clint Eastwood. And he commented on my video, upgrading the guarantee from Zelex. Uh, I did a video where Zelex did an upgrade on their skeleton. They went to an EXP skeleton uh, as opposed to an Evo skeleton. That's really cool. You might want to check that video out. I have a link to the new skeleton in that video. And a guarantee. Since they are using new ball joints on their skeleton, as I explained in the video, they do have guarantees on certain parts of the doll that can be replaced for the lifetime of the doll. You know, if you don't personally damage that doll, you know, if it just happens through wear and tear. And I don't know how they're going to determine it or ask you for whatever evidence, you know, I don't know. But they just say, as long as you didn't damage the doll, they'll replace the part. So that's what that video was about. And my guy Clint Eastwood, he commented recently, said, mine, I guess his Zelex doll is still being built. He says, I can't wait. An inspiration, top trim, Daisy. And I don't know what he meant by Daisy. But he says every man should own a Daisy. So I guess that's going to be her name, his inspiration series doll from Zelex. I told him, you're going to be a happy man, my friend, you know, whenever he gets that girl. I haven't touched Zelex's product. They aren't Dog King certified from the standpoint, I don't really know what their product feels like. But I do have some viewers that own Zelex dolls. They're happy. From everything I've seen, they're one of the companies that I really like. I've had my eye on. And I'm going to be thankful when I do get my Zelex doll, whenever that may be. So I'm off of that video. Like I said, this is going to be a rapid fire Dog King powwow. I don't know how long it's going to last. We're just going to shoot through these questions and then see where we end up. Now, man, this is a guy that I really have been going back and forth with today. And I don't normally do that because a lot of times when I'm answering questions, the person isn't on right when I'm, answering this question. But this guy, as soon as I was answering the question, I noticed that he was, replying immediately, meaning that he was actually on at the same time I was on. Normally, I reserve a lot of just going back and forth, maybe for a Dog King Army team member, my guys who actually, pay for memberships. But I talk to all of my viewers. I comment on all of my, what my viewers say, unless it's something negative or foolish, which I have been dealing with some negative and foolish comments recently. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm just glad that there's a creator that, I have the ability to get rid of that type of stuff. I haven't had to do that very often on this channel where I'm just like, you know what? I don't mind people saying stuff that's crazy, off the wall, or even insulting. But here's the deal. I'm not finna let nobody junk up my message board with that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So whenever that happens, then I have to regulate that. I don't like just craziness coming on my message board. I don't mind different opinions and ideas and all of that, but I'm not going to put up with just complete negativity. But with this particular guy, we just caught each other at the right time. So he just asked one of the strangest questions, because I've seen him before. I think he's been a long time subscriber, but this was one of the strangest questions I've ever seen. It was just out the blue, and I don't know what he meant by that when he first asked it, but he commented on my Iron Tick Doll versus Real Doll video. And then he says, if I thought it was just straight trolling, I wouldn't even answer it. But I was just like, man, what is this dude talking about? But he says, is my guy the Abserian official? He says, are these yours or rented? I was just like, what is this guy talking about? I said, instead of just answering that question straight up, because I'm like, no offense, bro. If you're looking at my channel out there, I mean, I have no idea why anybody would think that my dolls are rented. That's just one of the craziest things I've ever heard. But I just answered him and I said, I don't know anyone who would rent a doll, my friend. I said, brothels for me, I didn't say the for me part, but this is it. This is true. Brothels for me are ridiculous and renting is terrible. I've actually heard of somebody mentioning a doll rental service. So it could literally exist. I think I've heard of it where you can like rent a doll for some days or something. I'm sorry, man. That's just for me, it's stupid. And it's just unsanitary. If you're using it for any type of physical purposes, who the hell wants to rent a doll for a few days, man? Somebody else's used doll. It just sounds so sickening to me. I know we have a sex industry, so to speak, and people work in that industry. But even when the workers are clean and taking baths and stuff, I mean, it's still just a filth associated with that industry because you're just being with so many people. Same thing with the dolls, man. You can clean these dolls out perfectly, but I mean, it's just sickening in a way to just, be trying to be physical with a doll after all these people had been with this doll. Hey, man, let's just say you spend $300 to rent a doll. Hey, bro, you might as well just save up and get a damn doll. What are you doing? So for this guy to ask me, was I renting a doll? I'm just like, what is this dude talking about? But like I said, I don't know anybody who would rent a doll, even though I'm sure it does happen. But I don't know anybody who would do that foolishness. And to me, like I say, brothels are just a nasty business. And I was telling Reggie in our interview, like, man, I'm glad you didn't go that route. It's just, even if you could be successful, I don't think that's the route you would want to go. And then, like I said, he gets to a part where I don't know whether he's trolling or whatever, but either way, he starts saying, he laughed out loud. Then he says, so they are yours or borrowed from a friend? I'm like, what is wrong with this? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with this guy? Who borrowed? I mean, I tried not to judge him too quickly or anything, but I was thinking like, who does he know that borrows dolls? This sounds ridiculous. But I entertained it and I said, bro, I don't know why you think my dolls are borrowed or rent. I still didn't answer the question directly, but I'm still more baffled at his line of thought. I said, is that what you're doing? Basically I said, are you borrowing or renting a doll? I said, I hope not, my friend. And he said, it's just those two in this video. The rest, no. It's just that these aren't the type we usually see you with. And I'm like, what is he talking about here? He says, since you like the more anime style cartoon ones. And that's when he just totally lost me. I said, this dude don't know what he talking about as far as it's relating to me. But then I didn't like, some people like to keep you in a box, and I can't control what everybody out there thinks, and you can't control what it. Like I told you, you can't control what people think about you. So to Abserian and anybody else, think what you want. I don't really give a damn. I'm not finna try to change people's perception. But when he said these aren't the type we usually see you with, I hate to say that. Like I told you, I don't like to think about race and all of this other stuff. But it was when he said that, it was almost like, hey, you aren't supposed to have any higher end dolls. You're only supposed to have lower end dolls. What are you doing? That's how it almost felt. I'm like, what is this guy saying here? Is he saying that he only expects me to have a certain type of doll? Because if you're watching my channel, this is a journey. This show was never meant to stay static. It was never meant to stay the same. I was never going to start this show with Callie's son, and 7 years later, you only see me and Callie's son. This is a show that was always going to grow and add new ladies and progress. So I have no idea if he's a longtime viewer why he would be thinking like this, other than to be a troll. But I was trying not to put that label on him because he's been a longtime viewer. Now I do have another longtime viewer with a name similar to him that was a bit trollish, but I don't know. That's why I was like, I don't think he's the one though. So that's why I continue to talk to him. This is what I told him though. I says, I don't know what you're even talking about, my friend, as it relates to me only liking anime style cartoon dolls. I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, none of my girls are anime girls. None of my girls are anime girls. See, you can get these my good viewer named Dr. MGTOW, he loves dolls that looks just like the anime cartoon. And they make doll heads that look with the big anime eyes. I mean, they look just like anime girls. Now, those are the dolls that look just like cartoons. My dolls don't look like cartoons. They're based off of human appearances. Now you have companies like Piper Doll or even Elsa Babe. They make anime style dolls, but the dolls still look human. You know what I'm saying? They may be based on a doll that's in an anime, but they still look like the human version of their doll. They don't look to be made to look cartoonish. And so all of my girls, from Cali, all my Kimber dolls, they don't have a cartoon look. They are based off of a human appearance. Now, all of my girls have anime type names because I love anime. And, I put an anime spin on them as far as their names, but they don't look like the cartoon. And that's what I said. I said none of my girls are anime girls. Most have anime names, but they are made to look like anime girls. And that's what I went on to say. Maybe a Piper, Elsa Babe, or even Game Lady, I could understand your line of questioning. I said, no. I said, maybe a Piper, Elsa Babe, or Game Lady, I could understand. I said, but your line of questioning is not very clear. It's not very clear what he's saying, because he's saying, hey, I know you like anime girls. I'm like, anime girls? Where do you see anime girls over here? Because I don't see any anime girls. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what is he talking about? What is this dude talking about? I said, I also don't like dolls that look just like anime. Like, I have a big crush on the girl Nami from the anime One Piece. I would love a doll that looks like the human version of Nami, but I wouldn't want the direct anime looking doll of her. You know what I'm saying? With the big eye, like the anime dolls look. See? So that's what I mean. I wouldn't mind having a version of her like a Game Lady doll, like the human version of her, but I wouldn't want her to look like a cartoon. And this is where I was like, okay, maybe this guy's just trying to troll me at this point. Now he just, if it was to continue along these lines, I'd just be like, you know what? Okay, I see what type of person this guy is going forward. I'm not going to, listen to everything he says or take anything seriously. Because he was like, they look mad cartoony, my friend. So he was saying my girls look cartoony. I said, okay. Now he's sort of just trying to sort of take shots at my girls or whatever. And I'm not going to play into all that. I said, luckily, your eyes don't matter to my girls. You know what I'm saying? And I laugh. Basically, I've sort of had these guys say these things before where some people may say, oh, man, your girls, I feel like they're jealous, or your girls don't look good to me, or your girls look ugly. And once again, I'm not here to change your mind. If they look cartoony, ugly, whatever you like, hey, that's why I say it's one good thing about my girls. They don't care about nobody else's eyes and how they're seen other than mine. And that's, the case for every doll owner out there, and even if you have a human woman like the beautiful Panty, oh Lord, Panty look hot. But either way, even if you got a human woman like her, it only matters if you think she looks beautiful. It may be somebody to come up and be like, "Ooh, man, your girl, she ain't quite right for me." But that's good. She ain't with you. You know what I'm saying? So although he said she looks cartoony or whatever, I said, okay, I'm not going to play into all of that. I'll let him think what he wants. And that's why I say, your eyes don't matter to my girls. And then he says, I prefer the more realistic ones. And then he sort of tried to, God bless you, Obsidian, but you did come a bit off as a doll snob here when he says, I graduated from the unrealistic dolls. Nothing wrong with that. And this is what I told him. I says, I have every level of companion dog, and all levels are amazing for me, my friend. And I really do truly believe that. I love I love every level, man. I love every level. The only level of doll I don't like are the black market, bogus dolls, the ones that are poorly made, the ones that can get my viewers sick, the ones that can break on you in 2 weeks. Those are the only ones I don't like. But as long as they're dolls from well-made manufacturers, legitimate manufacturers and brands, which if you're looking for a doll, you can always find great vendors and manufacturers in the links in the description of my video or the about section of my YouTube channel. As long as they're from a legitimate brand and things of that nature, they're good to go. Because, in this game, you have great manufacturers that have thought about the consumer that doesn't have a big budget. Because a lot of people don't know, the companion dog game really was off limits to the common man. The common man couldn't afford, and a lot of people still have trouble with, $3,000. But man, it used to be a time where, man, I used to look up silicone dolls, and all of them that I used to see was $5,000, $6,000. They was all way overpriced. And I remember one day I looked up and I was like, man, it looked like the price done dropped on these dolls now. So a lot of these manufacturers have done a lot to bring the price point down and still give you a lot of quality. They may have added more foam insides and using a little bit less silicone to bring the price down. Whereas, yes, you would love more silicone, but guess what? Now the common man can afford one of these dolls. So a lot of dolls are very well made. They're just at a lower price point. And that's what I was trying to tell Reggie when he came on the show, because what I come to find out is a lot of people that sort of have worked with real dolls, they don't even hardly really know about, people that's just straight up, working with real doll and in their company. It's almost like they're not really aware of what's going on with a lot of these Chinese companies and things of that nature. Not just Chinese, but just overseas companies. They don't see all the innovations, and they're not quite even aware of everything that's going on. Because like even when I was talking to Reggie, he doesn't really know all the brands and what's going on with them. And that's not a shot at him or anything. It's just the fact that he said something to the extent of, hey, you don't want to go cheap or whatever. But that's what I was sort of explaining to him. Nah, real doll is actually priced a bit too high. They should be priced a little bit lower, not too low, because it's expensive to make those dolls with what they're making them with. But they should come down a little bit. But I was trying to tell him, these other dolls aren't what you would call cheap. They're just affordable. Very well made, great brands. It's just that they've chosen not to make their dolls so out of reach of the average customer. So they are not cheap dolls. They're just more affordable, because the common man, he's not thinking $1,000 is cheap, 2,000 or 3,000. That's a pretty penny. It's a pretty penny. So they aren't cheap. They're well made, and there are great brands out there. So you can. That's why I say I love every level, and I'm actually going to do a video probably coming up about it, about something I just really love about my lower level dolls. I really do. I really love them. But either way, I get to that another time. But just to continue with me and his conversation, the last thing I told him was, I love every level of dolls. You know what I'm saying? And he says, that's what up. And this way I was sort of glad that I kept talking to him, because I'm like, okay, maybe this guy was, maybe he did take a shot or two in there, but for the most part, some of the stuff he was just saying he was just curious. Who knows? But he said, that's what's up. He said, you got quite the insane collection. So he sort of came with a bit of a compliment there. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad that this is, a cool guy. He doesn't, he doesn't, put it like this. He was coming off at first I was like, man, is this a guy that could be trouble in the future with some of his some trolling type things? But he started, when he started saying that, not just because he complimented, but when you're just a straight jackass, a lot of times you just stay a jackass, something like that. But he didn't do that. He says, I says, thank you, my friend. I love having every level of doll from beginning to ultra advanced. I said, but they're all special girls from great brands. All of them are special, from beginning doll all the way to the top. And then I said, we do send our love to you and your girls, because we do love all of my viewers that interact with us and stuff. Of course, we don't like the trolls and the negativity, but, we appreciate comments even when they do throw me off, like some of his comments would throw me off. He says, this the part where I didn't see this. It looks like he just answered this. And so I'm glad to hear this because he said something that was very concerning to me. He said, thank you, pal. He says, anytime. I sure miss my sweetheart. And so I'm like, maybe he only had one dog. I'm not sure. He says, she went out while I was gone these past 7 months. I don't know what he was doing. But he says, when I returned home, she had melted and I had to throw her away. He said, she'll be missed for sure. There will always be a special place for her in my heart. So I don't know if that was his only dog. But I said, wow. And this was right before the show. I said, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, how did she melt? I said, was she in a hot room or in direct sunlight? Because now he got me super interested because I'm like, man, what the hell happened to this dog? I've heard of dogs melting before, but I don't know what circumstances they happen under. I said, I would love to know if you don't mind, my friend. He said, JayDollKingHefner, it was during the cold months. He said, well, air-conditioned room, no heat. He says, however, it's possible it could have deteriorated by the mold. He says, unsure. High possibility she wasn't washed prior to me leaving. This is crazy. He says, only explanation I can say. He said, even the bed, she was left on the softest bed ever. My new memory foam, full-size mattress. Just her arms were melted. What the hell? It had ooze dripping. It was beyond bizarre. He said, as I take care of every doll I had, even repairing them if they had any joint issues. But as I say, she died of a broken heart. That is crazy. So he doesn't even really know what happened. Man, all I'm gonna say is, man, that like I said, this is a crazy story. I'm actually answering this in real time. I don't know what really happened to that dog. But I'm telling him right now, thank you for sharing that. I really do appreciate that. And I like to answer right now because once this show's over, man, I'm telling you, I could end up forgetting about this. I hate to hear that though, because you know, I just don't know how I think that'd be pretty traumatic, man, to be gone for a certain length of time. And I was just to come back and my dogs would just be melted now. It'll make more sense if I left them in the summer months, but just to find her in the colder months melted, I'm gonna tell you, he says he likes high quality dogs and stuff, and I'm not trying to poke fun or anything at him. I just say I'm hoping that this was a high quality dog that he had because if it was a black market dog, which I'm not saying he has one, I'm just saying I could see something being off in her mixture. But if she was a high quality dog, I've even heard that their mixtures could be off. Because Reggie was saying something about that. He was on the show that we were on. He was like, man, his real dog was poured wrong. I was like, what the hell are you talking about poured wrong? And of course, when you're mixing the silicone, it's a certain mixture that it has to be. And he said, if that mixture is off, over time, it could have an effect on your dog. And honestly, he was talking about he couldn't work on the dog because it's almost like the dog's skin was sort of melting, so to speak. It wasn't holding together good. And so I'm thinking if, maybe something like that could have happened to him. But either way, that's a traumatic event. God bless you, Obsidian official on that one. I don't know what happened, but that sounds bad. Uh But even so, that's all me and him talked about, I believe. Yep, I believe that's all we talked about. That was my second video. That was my third video. I ain't got many more. I ain't got but a couple more. I'm gonna take a quick break right here and just see what y'all said about any of what I just talked about. Because we ain't got but a few more videos and the show will be over. Let's see. Just kind of do it. It says, appreciate these. Keep them coming. Thank you, just kind of doing it. I appreciate your involvement in the show. Been good to see you lately, man. Appreciate you. Is this another female? Rocky Queen. Hello, Jay and the girls. Hey, Rocky Queen. I don't know whether you're a woman or you just have the female avatar. Please let me know if you're still around, because like I say, I never know. Sometimes it's just guys that has their doll as an avatar. And I don't want to be saying, hey, calling you a woman if you're not a woman. So Rocket Queen says, I watched that interview and enjoyed it. Oh, thank you, Rocket Queen. I'm glad you enjoyed that interview. Rocket Queen says, you two had a good rapport and the conversation flowed well. Oh, that's great. I always want to be kind to my guests and things of that nature. So, Reggie, he seemed to enjoy the show. And like I said, that's really important to me. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. Christopher Gore, he says, hey, J-Doll, just popping in to say hi. To say I hope it is all well with you, my man. Oh, yeah, thank you, Christopher. It's doing great, man. It's going great right now. It's going amazing. SEB7 says, hi, Dog King. What up, SEB7 Dog King team member? Glad to have you in the house. Shout out to all my Dog King Army team members. I appreciate all you guys for supporting me every day. I will tell you guys, if you're a Dog King Army team member, you do have access to a Discord, and it is a link in the comments. In the comments that I have for my Dog King Army team members, I'll probably repost that link, because lately, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't been as active in the Discord. I try to get by there when I can. Right now, it's really on me and another team member that's pretty active in there. But it's just another space for you to come if you want to share pictures, if you want to talk, or, in more in depth about things that's going on. You can come and join the Discord if you're a Dog King Army team member. Just want to throw that out there. Just kind of doing it says, wait for the future. It'll probably be more likely and possible than you think. I don't know what you're talking about. Just kind of doing. Once again, I told you when I get to these comments late, you have to go ahead and give me the complete thought. Because you said, wait for the future. It'll probably be more likely and possible. I don't know what he's talking about. And then he says, positive vibration. Oh, yeah, I always try to keep it positive over here, just kind of, you know how it go. Now he laughing. And Ryan Carson says, rented dolls. Oh, yeah, I'm not with the rented dolls stuff, man. I already went on that tangent, but nah, that is crazy. I'm not with no rented dolls. Just kind of doing a laugh at that. Monkey Jeeba says, if I needed it for a carpool lane, man. What up, Monkey Jeeba? It's good to see you. Honestly, like I said, you know me. I know you probably just joking, but I don't like to cheapen the thought of a dog like that. Like, I'm just getting one to ride in the carpool. You know what I'm saying? I know you just joking around, but maybe you just joking around. But I don't even like the thought of cheapening a dog to that point, or just buying it for something like that. But you can get in trouble in a lot of places for doing that, and that's crazy. For having your dog in the passenger seat, I've heard people saying that you can get in trouble in certain states, for doing that. And I'm like, what if it's my, because I ride around legitimately with my girls, not to try to get over in the carpool lane. If I'm in the carpool lane, I'm in the carpool lane, but I'm not having my girl with me so I can do that. But I think that's sort of crazy how you can even get in trouble for having your dog with you and riding in the carpool lane. Either way. The Black Swordsman says, I know some people who would borrow my dog. Oh, I know plenty of people who would borrow my dog, but that's nasty to me. And I know I wouldn't borrow anybody's dog. That's the whole point. Like, I'm a serious dog owner, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know the real serious dog owners is with the dog borrowing. Who the hell wants to borrow somebody's dog? Unless you're doing it for some type of show, because I did hear a guy say, it was another guy that worked in the dog business. He was like, yeah, man, I let my friend borrow my dog for a expo. They were putting dogs on display. Now I can see you, letting somebody see a dog for an expo or something. But this is my real life, you know. So who the hell am I finna go, hey y'all? I mean, it's like a rapper with fake money on a video. You know what I'm saying? You give a rapper this fake money, he goes and does a video. What the hell? I mean, if you think you're watching me faking what I'm doing, what the hell are you watching for? You know what I'm saying? You might well stop watching, bro, if you think I'm faking my life. So, hey, y'all. Hey, man, let me borrow 2 of your dollars so I can act like I got more dollars than it look like I got. You mind me doing that? I mean, who would, like I say, that's going, look, if you even think you're watching me and if you think I'm faking like that, then you shouldn't even be watching me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's my mentality when it comes to the borrow dog thing. Like, if you think that I'm going out here borrowing dogs for appearances, hey, bro, why would you even still be watching me? You know what I'm saying? Because if you watched any of my shows, if you watch enough of me, I think that my viewers know that ain't somebody that I am. I'm not with that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? The Black Swordsman says, I never let that happen though. Oh yeah, I've had people jokingly, man, can I see your dog? Can I do that? Now, hell no. No. You ain't finna see my dogs, brother. He said, alarm hits early night, bro. Thanks for your content. I appreciate you for being here and watching the content, just kind of doing it. Thank you for all your comments, bro. I appreciate you. Ryan Carter says, yep, my girls are the same. I do love dressing them up as anime and video game characters, though. Oh, that's the whole thing. And that's what I meant about my girls. I love having my girls with the anime names, and I would put all of them in cosplay. But like I say, they don't look directly like the cartoon. None of my girls, look like a cartoon to me. I would love to make them, dress them up as the girls, but they don't look exactly like the girls right now, or they don't look exactly like a cartoon, like an anime doll or something like that. Ron Carson says, did you enter into the game lady competition, by the way, Jay? I have my friend. You know what? I haven't seen that. And you know what? I would have done a show about it, honestly. I haven't seen it. So I don't know anything about that. I saw this game lady thing where they were telling people to choose which doll they want to be made next, but I didn't actually see that they were giving a doll away, or either. As a matter of fact, if I do see they're giving a doll away, I'd do a show about it just to let my viewers know. So I check that out myself a little bit later. Leo says, you have been very clear about that on your past show, so I'm not sure where his confusion is. Oh yeah, I think he's talking about the Obsidian official guy. Look, I don't know why he was confused about the things he was confused about myself, if that's what you're talking about, Leo. I have no idea. But once again, I always think to myself, once again, maybe people haven't seen the show. And like you say, if he says he's been away 7 months, maybe he didn't see the show for 7 months. Who knows? Ron Carson says, oh gosh, glad to see you, Leo, man. I don't often see my Dog King Army team member. Ron Carson says, oh gosh, that feels bad losing a dog like that. Oh yeah, that's terrible losing a dog like that. Leo says silicone or TPE, and that's one thing I didn't ask him. I know it can happen with either one though. Austin still says, I would tell my boys in a case like that, hey, it's cool. You think she's that drop dead smoking, but get your own, my man. Oh, yeah. I'm not with it either. Hey, Austin, good to see you. I'm not with that either. That dog borrowing or using or pimping or no. I'm not with that, brother. Uh-uh. Some people have even mentioned that, man. Would you rent your dogs out for sex? I'm like, have you lost your mind? No, there's no way I would do that. Also says, by the way, I put Samantha in one of Addison's old shirts a couple of days ago. It's amazing how much more real she looks with clothes that fit right. Oh yeah, it's nothing like clothes that fit right on your dog, man. When you got these big droopy clothes on your girls, they don't quite look the same. Now, it's a couple of shirts I put on my girls that are big, like grizzly shirts, and I don't really care about seeing their bodies or shapes. I just like to maybe put that shirt on them. But for the most part, they always look better when it's form fitting. Like if I just get out of the way of her a little bit, you can just sort of see a little bit of her belly button and stuff showing. Hey, look, hey, it always look a little bit better. Let me move that right quick. See, when the clothes sort of fit them the right way. And honestly, this girl doesn't even look the best in white, but she's making this look good because she's so pale herself. She's the most palest girl that I have. Austin says, Ryan Carson, I actually bought a dress-up darling bikini for my real dog. Why not? I never heard of a dress-up darling bikini. He says, buying clothes for her is so easy since you know her body is modeled after a real person. Well, in a way, to me, it's still going to be difficult because even Reggie was saying it. Their bodies still aren't proportioned to a real human. You know what I'm saying? Because they have these big boobs, but the waistlines aren't the same with real humans. You know what I'm saying? Or the body sizes and the proportions aren't exactly like a real human. Like my girl is petite. She's 14. I'm sure it's a woman that could be built up like her, but it's gonna be damn near impossible to just have those dimensions that she has with that small ass waistline. Women have small waistlines, but not quite like a doll. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably easier than a normal doll, but when I look at my real doll, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is still gonna be hard. I don't know what the hell. I don't really know how I'm gonna go about getting clothes for her when I do. Because she got those big breasts and a waist is so small, it is ridiculous. Oh, okay. Right. He right. Okay, finally. You right, Austin. You right. Okay, it's gonna be easy for you. I'm glad you made that clarification. Austin says, I'm talking about the wicked bodies. Those are modeled after a real person, but the original bodies, yeah, it can depend on the right. So thank you. Because I sure was thinking like it's still difficult, but now you're right. The wicked doll bodies for real doll are the actual bodies of human ladies. So yeah, you're right. They're made with the direct dimensions because Reggie was actually saying that on one of his videos. The girl that was doing the clothes for them, she was like, which body is this? Which body is this? And he was like, that's actual her body. You know, it was actually Asa Akira's body, the dot body you got. The dude was like, that's not a specific body type. That's Asa's real body. You know, that's her real body right there. So you're right. The wicked dolls are modeled after, they have the real dimensions of the models. They took the actual molds of those girls. So you're right. They actually do have the dimensions of human women. So that's probably easy. So you're lucky in that regard. Also says, I even texted Reggie at one point when asking about dog fit. He said, my heart goes out to any body D or body F owners because those girls are stacked. Oh, yes, sir. I mean, my little beauty over here, she got a stack on her too, but she's not a body F or a body D. Those bodies are just voluptuous in all type of crazy ways. But like you said, you got it a little easier because you're right. You have a wicked doll body model exactly after a human woman. So good to hear from you today, Austin. So with all that said, we got a few more videos. And my next video looks like it's going to be my Reset Sunday, where I said it's on the way. And basically, it's on the way. It's similar to other videos I've done, but not exactly the same. Where I was just basically, it's almost that believe it and receive it type of a video. Where I always say believe it and receive it when it comes to your prayers and what you're hoping for and believing for. Because when you believe it, you will receive it. Well, that video just took it to another level of when you saying you believing for something, you got to truly believe it. You can't just ask God or pray to God about it and say, God, I hope you give it to me. No, you got to believe that he's giving it to you once you prayed about it. You got to convince yourself it's done. Once you can, when you convince yourself it's done, that's what I was saying. That's when you can, you know, get closer to becoming everything God created you to be, because you'll start seeing those things appear in your life, unless you're believing for something that's not a dream that he put in your heart. You know, if he told you he wants you to draw cartoons, but you decide to be a drug dealer and you ask for God to make you be the best drug dealer in the world, but you find out that's not even something you like to do. You just trying to force yourself to do it. Guess what? That wasn't a desire that you were ever supposed to be doing, bro. You supposed to be following, drawing some cartoons. That's where you're gonna see your favor in. So if you're believing for something that's not really who you're supposed to be, you're still not gonna see favor there. And you probably won't even be able to see your dreams clearly. And that's what I was saying in that video. When you're believing for something and praying for something in your life, whether it's health, finances, new relationships, you should start being able to visualize that really happening. You know, and if you can really visualize it, more than likely, that is a desire that God put in your heart. And, you know, if you believe for it, it will come true. It may not come true in the way or when you want it to come true, but it will. And that's what that video was about. Let me see. I ain't got but a few comments on there. Mainly on my Reset Sundays, a lot of people just say, amen, thank you, God bless, and things of that nature. And Black Zach, my guy, he says, amen. Miami Spice, I think it's a woman. I always wonder this. I think it is, though. Miami Spice says, I always look forward to Reset Sunday. Great message. Have a great week at JayDollKingHefner. And I said, thanks and have an amazing week. My guy Mike Robinson says, super great reminder for all. I have experienced God's work just as you say. You're a stand-up man. Thank you. And I told him, God bless. Have a great week. I appreciate that. My guy Wiz Jizz says, truer words were never spoken. I said, God bless and have a wonderful week. Like I said, man, this whole Reset Sunday exists to encourage people. It's not, it doesn't exist to make you believe what I believe spiritually or anything. You know, if you do have some thoughts to believe what I believe and things and that connects with your spirit, that's fine. But, you know, I'm always going to speak about my faith and how it affects me and how it strengthens me. But I'm not telling you that to make you believe anything. My whole message is to just uplift you, give you some juice for the new week, get your head up and not down. It ain't to change you. So no matter what you believe, you should be able to get something out of the Reset Sunday. And my Dog King Army team member, SEB7 says, thanks for this reset. I needed this reminder. And I said, thanks and have an awesome week as well. So I appreciate everybody that enjoys Reset Sundays. You know, like I always say, you know, a lot of times I take a hit on Reset Sundays. I lose 1 or 2 subscribers every Reset Sunday, or almost every Reset Sunday, because people are upset because they even literally hear the name or mention of God or whatever. And I always say, you know, God put that in me to do that show, and I don't give a damn how many people decide to leave because they even hear anything positive. Guess what? You got to get the hell out, because I'm not finna stop. And, you know, you'll be replaced by people who want to hear the messages, you know. Not only that, but my other shows. You know, like I said, I ain't trying to run people away, but if saying something positive runs you away, you can get the hell on. You can keep stepping. I love you all, but once again, nobody's subscription or unsubscription is going to change the path or what God puts in my heart to do. Not going to do it. So either way. Moving right along. My next video was a new upgrade from Iron Tick Doll. Let me see. I just want to make sure I get all the comments from that show. Okay. And the new upgrade, it wasn't with a doll per se. It was with the packaging. They have brand new packaging over at Iron Tick Doll. And it's amazing. I love it. I've seen a few other companies do this like foam type packaging where it basically forms to the body of the doll. And so when you take your doll out of the box, you can look down at the foam and see the exact shape of your doll. Now, when I got my WM doll, it actually had a bit of foam in the bottom that sort of shaped to the doll a little bit. So they were doing this a while back. But Iron Tick, they have good packaging, but I'm glad that they actually went to this because it covers the bottom of the doll as well as the top. It's almost having your doll in a cocoon. So unless somebody hits your doll with a forklift, and your doll is pretty much going to be super protected until she gets to you. So it was a great new update from Iron Tick Doll. You can check out that video. And matter of fact, you know what? I'll show you a bit of it because it's a good video. It's nothing indecent in it. If you haven't seen the video for the packaging, I can show it to you right here. And I said I was going to show you that because we got time to show you. I think we do. Let me see. I think we got time. Let me see if I've looked at it recently. I think I did. There it is. It's just a little quick video. So you'll be able to see the little new packaging that they did. You'll see it. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, if you didn't see that video, but this is the video that I shared on there. Here it is. So I'm gonna keep the volume down, but basically this is the new packaging for Iron Tick Doll. Shows you how they do it. I thought it was cool because I didn't know they did it like this. They put that in there, they spray that stuff on there. And look, they stick it down in there and it just forms to the doll. It's crazy. It's like a memory foam type thing. And you see, now that's the backside of the doll. It's formed to the backside of the doll. Now they got the doll in there and they packing it. And they putting this stuff, it looks like, on top of her. And now they're going to sit on it. And when it comes out, it says the top of the doll. So now she's fully protected. So I think that was pretty cool. I've seen other companies, a few other companies do that, but I love that type of packaging because if you, like I said in the video, if you've seen these other dog companies, man, I mean, not dog company, if you ever received a dog through shipping, believe me, it's a miracle that they get here as safe as they do because these shippers will have your dog on their heads, on their sides, flipping them all over. And most dogs are going to come with their necks bent because they don't have that type of foam protection. So they tend to sort of slide a little bit in the box and they'll get their necks bent. You have to unbend their neck when you first get the dog. And this will seemingly prevent that. So I do love that new packaging. So with all that said, oh, I didn't really have any comments other than my guy just kind of doing it. And he just gave me the he said, yes, sir. And so he was the only one. Oh, no. My guy Master J360 says, great news. Good to know my dog will be extremely safe with this new method. He says, on my 5th week wait, won't get factory photos until early May. And I said, she's going to be super protected, my friend. He ain't got nothing to worry about. Wolfbang says, positive vibes out to you, my brother. And I said, God bless you, my friend. So those were all the comments I had on that video. And honestly, we only have, looks like, one more video that I'm going to talk about here. Oh no, it looked like I got another one. Hold on. I do have another couple of comments on my video from yesterday. A new upgrade from CLM Climax Dog. A lot of you might not know a lot about Climax Dog. Honestly, I've always seen them posting on Twitter and things of that nature. I haven't been the biggest fan of everything they've done because they make some weird products, but I do, like some of what they do. I was just talking about they have done an upgrade to their silicone dolls, the mouth. They look amazing, actually. And Dawn X was saying, thanks for sharing. She said, and then she asked me, do any of your girls have teeth in a tongue? And the only girl that has teeth in the tongue over here is my real doll. She had teeth and a tongue. And she says, I kept seeing the removable vampire teeth sets on different sites. And she says, I thought they added a lot of cuteness, but wasn't sure how they worked. And I told her, basically, the removable teeth are for photography and for aesthetics. They're not really for you to use in any real way. I said they aren't functional. That's basically what I said. They aren't functioning in any other real way. And I said, have a good one, pretty much. But yeah, all these teeth, they're pretty much if you want to take pictures with your girl, you can stick the teeth in there, or even just, you just to have the teeth in there while she's sitting around the house. It just adds a little bit more realism for you, but you can't really be interactive with them. You can't use the doll and leave the teeth in their mouth. Like me, it's funny. I have a removable tongue for Saima. I could put it in any of my TPE girls, but I've never used it. And until right now, I almost forgot again that I had it because it's just like, why do I really need to use it? I'm not really taking any pictures where I want her tongue sticking out of anything. And even if I was to be physical with my girls, there's no really way to use it then. So I'm like, I really bought that. That was me as a young dog on and not just saying something like, oh, there goes a tongue. Let me get that too. Oh, there goes some teeth. But when I got my girls, I realized like, I don't even really need this. So it just depends on how you're using your girl, whether you can use some of those little gimmick items to make them look, I guess, more realistic in pictures or whatever. So let's see. I think I had another comment. And this new comment looks like it. It got past me because I didn't see it. Let me see. Yeah. My guy, okay. I did a video a while back talking about TP oil leaks, about how TPE sort of leaks out of your doll a little bit over time. And about how you do have to replace it in your doll by giving her an oil bath every few months. And FG Clip says, I was also curious about this as well. I'm into figures and statues. He said, so I'm getting one for just this. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess I must have said something in the video about how I use my girls, about them just being around as companions, or maybe he's using them for photography. I don't know. He said, I'm getting one for just this. He says, my wife is horrified that I'm going to leave it out though. Basically leave it out open in the room. She'll get used to it. She'll be loving the dog before long. He said she was scared of my other statues, which are on a 1/6 scale, Street Fighter statues, but has gotten over it. What? She was scared of his other statues? Really? Well, maybe there's something that she's scared of. He says, I know I can't keep her in a fixed position for weeks. So in my man cave, I was going to have her laying down with a blanket over her. Then whenever I'm in, was going to pose her or have her sitting down next to me. Then when I leave, lay her back down and put the blanket over her. Is that cool? How do you know when the time is to clean? When you see dust, she should be coming next month. So I'm getting premeditated and excited. Well, I'm gonna have to tell him a lot. I'm gonna have to answer him right after the show in full though. He said, really, my wife blessed me with it. So I'm really excited to see her face. Ha ha. It's a TPE companion. So of course, it's a lot of things he asked on there. He said he was gonna have her laying down with a blanket over her. I'm gonna tell him if he got her laying down, she better be on a soft bed with memory foam on it. If he gonna have her laying down, that's one thing he do need. Then he says, he said whenever he in there, he gonna pose her and have her sit next to me. That's cool. When he leaves back, he's gonna put the blanket over her. Is that cool? Yeah, it's cool to put a blanket over her, but I guess he's trying to do that in case his wife walk into the man cave. But if it'll also keep dust off her too, so there's nothing wrong with that. How do you know when time is to clean? When you see dust? No. When you see dust, I ain't gonna say it's too late because I've seen dust on my girls. I just say when you got a TPE girl, it's best to just give her a wash down every month. You ain't got to scrub her. You know what I'm saying? Just give her a nice little wash down every month. And, every few months, you'll have to give her an oil bath to get that ingrown dust out that won't come out. I call it micro dust. It's just over time, dust is just going to get into your TPE dolls, not your silicone girls. They're going to be good to go. But your TPE dolls, dust is going to get into them just from sitting around. Believe me, man, I just gave all of my girls a bath and my mind played tricks on me a little bit because I'm like, Jay, these girls are clean as hell. What are you doing? And I'm like, Jay, don't listen to that. I said, don't listen to that, Jay. I said, they clean because you keep washing them every month. Don't listen to it. Look, but the truth is, I've learned better and better how to wash my girls, man. Even from when I first got my girls, I did do a lot wrong. Not a lot, but I overwashed them, meaning that I had I think just too much soap and all. They weren't dirty enough for me to do some of the time I washed them. Over time, I learned, like, man, I don't need that much soap in the water. These girls aren't dirty. They just really need to be sprayed down with water because I don't have sex with them. So and I don't have a car, so we're not going out into the elements a whole bunch. So I'm like, these girls just really need a little light watering, a little light soap on them, and then they need to be rinsed off and dried off, and guess what? Powdered up. And every few months, oil them down. But they don't really need aggressive washing and stuff like that. If you cleaning them on a regular. So he says, so basically you clean them every month. Even if you're not making love to them, you want to just do a little. I know everybody probably doesn't do this, but for me, even my girls that I don't really use that much, a lot of times they're still wrapped up in their blankets. Sometimes, for a few weeks, I might not have used them but one time. And so, like I told you, I could easily talk myself out of bathing my girls. I could be like, Jay, you got these girls wrapped up. They in the back room. They good. They don't need no washing right now. They haven't even been out yet. But some of me be like, nah, Jay, nah. Pay them a little bit of attention every month, no matter what. And like I said, don't wait like he said, when do you clean? When you see dust? Don't wait till you see dust. For me, that's a little too late. Now, depending on what you're doing with your girl, she may accumulate a little dust anyway over time, micro dust, but you can't even get micro dust out with antibacterial soap. You have to get him the oil bath to get that out. So that was pretty much all his questions on there. So I'm going to have to answer him. I'm going to leave it right up here because I think that was the last question. I'm going to answer him as soon as the show is over. because I got to answer him a long answer. But I just saw that, so it's crazy how sometimes I don't see the replies to certain things for a long time. And he did that, like I said on my video, TPE oil leaks. So that was my last question. I finished that, and hey, it's an hour 34. We made pretty good time. The power hour, you know what I'm saying? This is the time that I used to think it was going to be over with. Like, oh man, power hour. You know, hey, we come in here. I knock out the questions. It'll probably be about an hour, hour and a half, man. You know, I can let people, do their thing. But if you've been watching the power hour, you know it rarely goes that short because usually I have about 3 or 4 more videos to cover. And a lot of times those questions can get extensive, and you look up and guess what? It's a 2. And after I answer the viewers' questions, the chat questions, boy, it'll be 2.5 hours, which isn't too long to watch the show. It's just that the show always goes longer than I originally planned, which is cool with me. Because I know from watching other people's streams or just watching other things as a viewer, a lot of times people don't sit down and watch every second of the show. A lot of people could be asleep listening to me right now. A lot of people could just, be doing something active and having me in the background. Because I know me, I'm really listening. I'm really into looking at a creator on YouTube. I like actually watching Nina Infinity when she plays her video games. I don't like her other content. I don't hate it. I just don't. It's just not for me. But I do love when she plays her video games. And man, the funniest part about it is half the time I don't watch her playing the video games. I'm probably going to turn it on when I get ready to go to sleep. I find one of her video game streams, and because you know why, I sort of like hearing her talk. Just hearing her little voice in the background. And I always go to sleep really good when I'm listening to one of her streams. I just thought that was funny. I hardly ever really see what she's doing. So however you're enjoying my stream, I appreciate you. Let's see. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see. Power Brain in the house says, hey, Jay, how you doing? What up, Power Brain? Good to see you, my friend. Ron Carson says, cool packaging tech. Oh, yes, it was. Very cool packaging. David Williams says, what do you think about Zelek's new skeleton? Oh, I did a video on that. Maybe you haven't seen it. But I talked about how I felt about it in the video. But it's amazing, honestly, from what I've seen. Zelek just blows my, mind away from they're pushing the hell out the industry as far as constantly innovating. I just can't give them 100% heads up from me because I've never touched their dog, but I do love them from afar. And people who've gotten their dogs, I haven't heard any complaints. But I love what they're doing. Like I say, I actually have reached out to them before. Haven't heard anything from them. But like I said, a lot of times these companies, you never hear back from them. But I always say I'm going to hear back from them at the right time. Just probably not the right time. One day I hear back from them, and a ZX girl will be here one day soon, and I'll be able to touch it and give my opinion on it. But I do love that new skeleton they have. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Go back and check out all my old videos that you haven't seen that came out this week recently. David Williams, you can go check out my video on Zelix and their new skeleton. If you haven't seen that one. But like I said, I got a lot of great videos coming up. I'm glad to have you guys here with me today. Me and the beautiful Himawari, my full silicone Iron Tech doll, super realistic series. Man, Iron Tech doll is doing some new things too. I was trying to talk to my person over at Iron Tech doll. Haven't heard back from her. But they were supposed to be releasing a new doll. And I've seen them release a new doll recently. Probably going to talk about it soon. But I don't think that's the one that they were supposed to release. I'm going to wait to see if I'm going to hear back from my Iron Tech contact and see if they update me on the information. That way I can let you guys know. And my friend said something about Game Lady. having a competition. And if I find out more about that, if it's still active, you could be, looking forward to a show about that coming up pretty soon. But with all that said, man, how it goes. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Hope you had fun. I love the Dog King Power Hour because it gives me a chance to go over questions, comments a little bit more thoroughly. Once again, if you ever find out your question isn't being answered and you ask something crazy, then that's probably why, it was, if I don't mess with this thing that I dripping with negativity or sarcasm, or, you just trying to poke fun. I won't pay attention to it. And if I see too much of it, too much crazy activity, then those are things that I would have to regulate on my end. But I do love this show because it gives me a chance to connect with you guys in a more intimate way, see what you're thinking, see how your thoughts are. It gives me a chance to respond with the expertise that I've amassed over the last few years. And it's steadily building every day that I live and go forward. But me and my girls, we appreciate you. In this case, it's me and the beautiful Himawari. Then me, JayDollKingHefner, the beautiful Himawari. We really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you. God bless you. Whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, believing for, we're praying that you have it, whether it's health, new finances, or new relationships. Whichever it is, we pray you have it. We ask you believe it, and then you'll receive it. Thank you guys, man, for chiming in with all your questions and comments today. Have a great Saturday, and be sure to check out Reset Sunday. Oh, what am I talking about? Have a great Saturday. It's Wednesday. Oh, man. I threw myself all the way off with that, man, because I did do the Power Hour Saturday, this past Saturday. And the very next day was Reset Sunday. So I can't lie. I sort of drifted off into thinking it was Saturday again. So either way, no. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday. For all my ladies out there, on my social media, be on the lookout for the Human Woman Tip of the Week coming up on Thursday. And like I said, I got a couple of great shows to close out the week. And of course, Reset Sundays will be on Sunday. But as of right now, me and Himawari are finna get the hell up out of here. Ryan Carson says, thanks for the Power Hour. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Thank you to all you guys, man. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a good one. Have a good one, man. It's been good. Have a good one, my friends. We are out of here.